The Dallas Cowboys have one emerging problem on the field, and it's becoming clearer with each preseason game. The Dallas Cowboys are getting close to what will be a make-or-break season for the franchise. There's a lot of hope surrounding the team, thanks to having a new leader in Brian Schottenheimer, but Schottenheimer isn't going to have much time to turn this franchise around. For a team like the Cowboys, who are considered America's team, expectations are high, and the team has fallen short for too long. So, Schottenheimer, quarterback Dak Prescott, and company are on a mission to become one of the strongest teams in the NFL once again. Last season, Prescott spent much of the year out with an injury, so the team had to rely on their backup quarterbacks, both of whom have left the team. So, the Cowboys are putting their trust into backup quarterback Joe Milton if something with Prescott happens again. Well, the Dallas Cowboys went up against the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday, August 16th, and fell with a final score of 31-13. The most concerning part, though, was Milton's performance. The Dallas Cowboys have a problem. Let's hope Prescott doesn't get injured again, but if he does, it could be a problem. In a piece published on Saturday, August 16th, following the loss to Baltimore, Cherian Williams of Pro Football Talk and NBC Sports sums up the Cowboys' biggest problem perfectly in 3 words. He says the team has a backup quarterback problem. That certainly seems to be the case. It's obvious the Cowboys have a backup quarterback problem, he adds. Despite Milton's rough performance on Saturday, Schottenheimer says he's not worried. "I wouldn't say I'm concerned," he said following the game in a conference. "We didn't get into rhythm offensively. What we did in the first half against the Rams, I think we came out a little bit of a different mindset in terms of trying to run the ball. They got him." Schottenheimer added, "They fooled him a little bit on the safety on the 3rd down there. We were trying to get the ball out of his hand fast. They showed down one side and brought the blitz from the other side, and it just spooked him. He's got to try to throw that ball away, and his feet were kind of talking to him." Dallas Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer won't scapegoat quarterback. The head coach also said that he wasn't going to scapegoat Milton. "He's obviously not the only one on the field. It wasn't just Joe. We have to be able to run the ball better," he said. "We have to be able to take care of the ball. He throws the ball with a lot of tempo. I thought fullback Hunter Luepke had a ball he could have made a catch on." He added, "Again, you hit a couple of those things that gets you going. Sometimes you need somebody to help you make a play. I don't think we did a great job of that." The Dallas Cowboys traded for Milton during the offseason after letting Rush walk. Their other quarterback is Will Grier. While it's certainly a concern to see the kind of backup quarterback situation the Dallas Cowboys are facing, they're not the only team in the NFL in this situation. Hopefully Prescott can stay healthy this season and keep up the good stats, because if not, the outcome will be a question mark. The Dallas Cowboys situation with Micah Parsons has been very up in the air ever since the 3-time All-Pro edge rusher submitted a trade request at the start of the month. Jerry Jones, when asked back on August 5th whether he was confident that former Defensive Rookie of the Year would suit up for Week 1, gave the impression that his playing status for the opener against the Philadelphia Eagles on September 4th was very much in doubt. However, speaking on Wednesday, head coach Brian Schottenheimer delivered some much-needed good news for the fanbase. Although he did not venture near any level of certainty, the rookie HC feels good about the probability of Parsons playing against the Eagles in just over 2 weeks' time via Underdog NFL. Brian Schottenheimer on if he thinks Micah Parsons will play Week 1. "I feel good that Micah will be out there against the Philadelphia Eagles." Schottenheimer optimistic that Parsons will play in Week 1 despite contract battle. The situation is very much fluid, with Parsons having requested a trade and the organization seemingly having no plans to honor that wish. It is also unclear if this is simply part of a negotiation tactic to put further pressure on Dallas to get an extension done, or an actual, bona fide desire to exit the franchise. The former Penn State star is playing on the 5th-year option of his rookie deal, worth around $24 million in 2025. Now that deals have been made for edge rushers like Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, and TJ Watt, Parsons is next up. And since Watt just broke Garrett's previously record-setting 4-year, $160 million contract, $40 million per year, with a 3-year, $123 million, $41 million per year, of his own, The younger Parsons will most probably expect his forthcoming extension to supersede both. Yet, it seems like considering the way things are going from his vantage point, Shoddy feels at least vaguely confident that he will have his best defensive player at the ready come the start of the regular season. Will Parsons remain with the Cowboys long-term? Adam Schefter, speaking to Pat McAfee on Tuesday, predicted that the fifth-year DE and Dallas will likely remain together, at least until the end of the year. "I think to me today," Schefter said to McAfee on Tuesday, "it feels like they're kind of going to put up with each other this year. And then the Cowboys are going to have the franchise tag, and they would put the franchise tag on him, and then next offseason would be the offseason of the Micah trade. I think that one of all the scenarios feels to be the most logical today." Schefter also acknowledges that it is still only August and that there are likely more twists and turns, but unless a team really comes in with a serious offer, Parsons will most likely stay in Dallas for the remainder of the season, even if they cannot figure out a deal. No Cowboys fans want to see the team move on from a player like Parsons, even if it does land the organization a gargantuan haul of picks. But the fact that Schottenheimer thinks he will probably play feels like at least a step in the right direction. The 2025 campaign will mark the 10th year the Cowboys will enter the regular season with Dak Prescott as their starting quarterback. In light of him reaching the latter stages of his career, the iconic franchise has been linked to a potential successor for the 32-year-old. Prescott isn't far removed from being in the MVP race. That said, the Cowboys still need to keep an eye on the future, especially considering he is coming off an injury-ridden campaign that limited him to just 8 games. Now fully healthy again, Prescott is eager to return to the player he was in 2023. However, with quarterback being such a crucial position, Dallas should be eyeing someone who can take the reins when it comes time. Cowboys named among possible landing spots for Anthony Richardson. Heading into training camp, one QB battle everyone had their eyes on was within the Indianapolis Colts. Earlier this week, a final decision was made. Despite recently selecting Anthony Richardson with a top 5 pick, the Colts are going with Daniel Jones to open the year. In light of Richardson being moved to a backup role, speculation has arisen of Indianapolis potentially moving on from the young QB. It's worth noting that, as of now, there have been no reports of the front office actually considering such a move. As this discourse continues, Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox compiled a list of possible landing spots for Richardson if he were dealt. Among the group of teams brought up was the Cowboys. Prescott has accumulated a sizable injury history over the years and, at 32, won't suddenly become more durable. The Cowboys need a backup they can believe in, and they lost a good one when Cooper Rush departed this offseason, Knox wrote. Dallas traded for Joe Milton III, but he hasn't looked particularly good in the preseason. Richardson would probably be a better plan B than either Milton or Will Grier, and it's not hard to envision Jerry Jones making a play for him. Richardson is still a bit of an unknown in the NFL, as injuries have limited him. He started in just 15 games over the past 2 years, posting an 8-7 record in that time. While the Cowboys are still clearly committed to Prescott moving forward, making a move for Richardson might be worth kicking the tires on. He is someone they can develop behind the scenes for the future and can be a viable option in the event Prescott falls victim to another injury.